Hello and welcome to the Trial Podcast. I'm your host, Bo. It's my co-host, Denny.
Hello, how are you?
I heard you slept in, mate.
I did, yeah.
What did you dream about?
I can't remember. You put me on the spot, I can't remember.
Oh, well, there's not a lot I can do. I'm wearing this shirt because I was so disgraced in what you wore last week. I tried to top it, and I still don't think I did.
Please. It wasn't that bad. It's just a jumper.
Well, you bought another jumper on the weekend.
I did, I bought a Warriors jumper.
Anything but a Parramatta jersey, eh?
I've got plenty of Parramatta jerseys.
I've never seen you wear one.
Will I go back and have a look at the tapes?
Check the logs.
Yeah, check the logs.
All right, we'll get straight into this. This is our Q&A show. Let's go.
Righty, so our first question's from Liam on tour. Titans are overhyped and need a better spine to be a competitive top 8 team.
Well, we said at the start of the year that we thought they'd be a 50-50 side.
Yeah.
I like their forward pack.
Yeah, fringe top 8.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think they probably need a hooker.
yeah, well, they went out and signed that English hooker
Okay.
a couple of days ago, I think. He's like, he was touted to be like the second best English hooker behind Josh Hodgson.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think they need a hooker. So that's not a bad signing there. I don't mind the rest of their spine, really. I just think they need a hooker. I think Brimson is a really good player.
Yeah.
I think Fogarty had a great year last year, I think. And
Ash Taylor he has the potential to be a good player.
Yeah.
But he's rock
I think they got
solid.
the forward pack to forego a lot of that. I think their forward pack can get him going the right way.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, next one from Tyler M. Wallow 3. Okay, hear me out. Due to injuries and suspensions, do Dragons play Norman at fullback, Dufty to the wing, and Sullivan or Clune to 6?
I would love to see, because I don't mind Norman at fullback. I think he's silky back there.
Yeah.
Probably lacks a little bit of speed, but I think he can lay on a try.
Mm-hmm.
I would have Dufty out of the side.
Yeah, no.
Maybe in a 14.
Not even.
I wouldn't mind him coming on and just having to run around the middle. He can't really get found out too much defensively, especially with forwards around him. Maybe on the try line, but he already gets found out defensively all the time. I really would love to see Sullivan get a shot at 6 with Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
A real running 6. I know Ben Hunt's a bit of a running 7, but I think he can be a little bit of a game manager too if he has to be.
Yeah. You know what? I would like to see Norman play at fullback. Yeah, I think it'd be good. And Dufty out of the team.
Well, him and Cody Walker are similar in that ilk. Like Cody Walker goes back there and he's just silky at fullback, and that's what I think Norman would be. And he's okay in broken play too, Norman.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a bad shout, Tyler.
Yeah, nice. Next, Bill Murray 89. Who do you think Jerome Luai will represent in the World Cup? Australia, New Zealand, or Samoa?
Samoa.
Yeah, me too.
I'd love to see it too.
Yeah, he won't play for Australia. There's already Cam Munster and Jack Whiten ahead of him.
Yeah, I think he'll just elect to play for Samoa anyway, forever.
Oh yeah, you reckon?
I reckon.
Okay, well, good on him.
Yeah.
Righty, Braden Bowe. Burton keeping his spot in the centres, or will Momirovski get his right edge back?
Interesting. I think Burton stays.
So what happens to Momirovski?
Oh, I don't think he gets back inside. Maybe there is a lot of people run outside back on the bench now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but I think Burton's proved that he can match it. He can match it with some of the best centres going around at the moment.
Yeah, right. So maybe he's got to play his way back into that spot.
Yeah. Well, where are you at, Burton?
I think Momirovski should go back to centre.
Oh, so you're dropping Burton though?
Maybe Burton as you said,
in the 14.
In the 14, yep. I like that. Anyway, Dan and WS, Clint Gutherson, underrated or overrated?
Oh, I think he's properly rated. I think that he's probably rated as one of the best fullbacks in the comp.
Yeah, 100% he is.
I don't think he's overrated. I spoke to someone yesterday that thought he was overrated.
Who?
I think just someone in one of the lives said that he's overrated. I think on effort he's almost unmatched with any fullback in the comp. I think effort wise,
maybe even player.
Yeah, he what he lacks in a little bit of skill, he makes up for in spades with effort. So I've got him as properly rated.
Yeah, me too. All right, Dill Payne 1. 3 overrated and underrated players this season.
I've always got Jared Croker as an overrated.
Everyone's saying Jared Croker for Origin. He's not all that.
I've not really ever seen it with Jared Croker. So that's an overrated.
Matt Dufty overrated.
Yeah, Matt Dufty's overrated. I agree with that. Dylan Edwards is underrated.
Dylan Edwards is underrated. He is.
You could have said Isaiah Papali'i was underrated before the start of this year.
100% underrated before the start of the season, but now
He's having a great year.
Yeah, he's having an awesome year.
That's a couple there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gets a bit hard after that.
I like Alex Twile for the Tigers. I think he's
a
underrated.
good player.
He goes under the radar. He's just a workhorse.
Yeah.
Like, he'll get through 30, 40 tackles and run 100 metres every game. No one ever talks about him.
Yeah. I think that's similar to Mitch Moses. I think Mitch Moses doesn't get enough credit for what he does.
Yeah.
I think he's really, really solid for Parramatta. I think he's changed his game a little bit to become more that game manager as well.
Yeah.
So I'll say Mitch Moses is a bit underrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he ever gets mentioned for any rep teams or anything, which I don't think I think they've got the best halfback in the world at the moment. But I do really like Mitch Moses.
I think it's similar with Dylan Edwards, because he'd be a New South Welshman.
Yeah.
So in front of him, you got James Tedesco, Ryan Papenhuyzen, Latrell Mitchell can play fullback for
Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah, Tom Trbojevic and Clint Gutherson.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, I think we pumped out a few there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jaden Griffio. When is the test match happening for the country?
No, so we don't do the Anzac test anymore. I don't know if that's what he's asking, but they scrapped the Anzac test. They will be doing the World Cup at the end of the year, but I think they do need more focus on international football. I think we need more international football.
Yeah, 100% we need more international football.
I would love to see when State of Origin's on, you have like a rep weekend. I reckon Tonga should play Samoa, England play New Zealand, even PNG play Fiji, something like that. Maybe mix that around every year and make it a big celebration, and then you can have a week off from the NRL.
Yeah, right. Well, you've been saying that for a little while.
Yeah.
Anyway, Olacroy 97, is Tapine leaving? If so, where do you see him going?
I can't see his position being tenable at the Raiders anymore. If his wife's come out against the coach, I mean, something's got to give. Either he goes or Ricky goes, and I think Ricky's pretty safe.
Yeah.
So, can you see him staying?
No, not really.
We spoke about it on the weekend. Well, I agree with everything she said.
Yeah.
Right? But it's definitely not a good look.
It's not really her place to come out and say anything either.
Yeah. Even though I agree with everything she said, you can't. That's just going to tear apart a locker room. There's a lot of things going on at the Raiders at the moment, and obviously that lends to a deeper issue in the locker room. If the wife's coming out against the coach, Josh Hodgson today has given up the captaincy. As of today, he said he's not going to be captain, and George Williams has said he's homesick and wants to go home.
Mate, what's happening there?
I don't know. So both their captains are out at the moment anyway. Croker and not George Williams, Croker and Hodgson. But Hodgson has said he's not going to be captain anymore anyway.
Who'll be captain?
Croker will just... who's captain this week?
When Croker's out.
Would you go... I'd go Jack White. Oh, no, Josh Papali'i's back this week.
One of the two. Maybe co-captains.
Yeah, and he's another one that's been... He's been rested due to things going on in his personal life and that. That's what he said last week. He was he had to think about other things other than footy that week.
Papali'i.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on at the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely. Where would you see Tapine going if he does leave?
I don't know. Maybe a Warriors. I don't know. A lot of people could use him.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. The Sharks. The Sharks would be a good fit for him, I think.
Down the Shire.
Yeah, because there's rumours that Toby Rudolph is getting poached
Bulldogs
as well. Yeah, so maybe Tapine goes there.
Oh, I like that fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharkies. Yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, Jack Martini 2. Who do you think the Broncos? Wait, who do you think is going to win, Broncos or Cowboys?
I've got the Bronx this week. We'll get into it more in our tips show, but I got the Broncos winning. Yeah, there's a bit of word around too, just quietly, a little bit off on a tangent here, that the Roosters are sniffing around Matt Lodge.
The Roosters?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they've got some injuries and maybe a mid-season switch for Matty Lodge. Also, they're sniffing around Andrew Fafita. Two players that you think, if a team was going to get the best out of them, that would be a Roosters.
Yeah.
So, watch that space.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. All right, a question from Isaiah Neesandri. Oh, mate, I
Some of
butchered
these
that name. Isaiah Nutri.
Can I just say, we don't get your first and last name. So if you go on their profile, you can actually see their first and last name. We don't get that when we read these questions. We just get your username.
Yeah, the username.
Because we always get a message every week from someone saying, no, this is how you say my name. How are we meant to know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alrighty. If Scott Drinkwater doesn't re-sign with the Cowboys, who should they go after?
Oh, no one. Well, the point of it would be if he didn't re-sign. Well, they've already signed their house.
Yeah.
But there's some word around today that he has re-signed.
He's re-signed.
Well, that's what the Courier Mail reported today, that he has re-signed. I don't know if that's been confirmed. I'm trying to find out if it's been confirmed. But if he didn't, I would have liked to see him go to the Bronx with get a steady half in there like Adam Reynolds. I think if you partnered Adam Reynolds, that could be just lethal.
That would be good.
Where would you like to see him go if he hasn't re-signed? Because I don't think he should stay. I'd rather go see him start in the half somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Sharkies.
Yeah, the Sharks are another team.
Yeah, Sharks. Well, he's from New South Wales. So yeah, maybe the Sharks.
Yeah.
Anyway, Laser Flash 101. What made you do podcasts?
I'll start with me. Personally, I just like talking about footy. So, me and you, every time we're together, we talk about footy. So I thought, why don't we just put on a camera and keep talking about footy?
Yeah.
Go watch that first podcast. It is some of the worst stuff you've ever watched in your whole life.
Mate, remember a few years ago when we at your old joint,
yeah.
we got on the beers and we just set up a camera and just started talking smack.
Yeah, but we forgot that the camera was even going.
Yeah.
And we ran out of film.
Yeah.
So we tried it like 3 years ago, but that never got aired. But even go watch the first one. It's some terrible stuff. What did you give it a crack?
Yeah, same thing.
Same.
Like talking about footy.
That's it. It's going pretty well.
Yeah. Going real well. Anyway, Savvy Tyler 3. Should Joseph Tapine leave Canberra? We already touched on that a little bit. So
I think I can't see him staying. There'd need to be some kind of reconciliation there.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be leaving.
Apparently they had a big meeting this week about all their internal and external stuff at the Raiders. So there's things going on there, man.
Yeah. Anyway, ESM TV 35. Do you think Dragons can still make the finals despite 3 losses on the trot?
Well, I didn't have them making the finals at the start of the year, and I can't really change me position on that now. People are saying the Josh Maguire curse.
It's not Josh Maguire curse.
Well, since he's gone there, they haven't won. And when he was at the Cowboys, they weren't winning. So, I don't know. But I'm saying it's just the Dragons curse. It's been the story of their last kind of decade, really.
Yeah. I don't think it's Josh Maguire curse.
I think Josh Maguire's a good signing.
Yeah, he's a good signing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andrew Backhouse. Continue on from last question. Did he have a question earlier?
Well, you probably need to scroll down.
Oh, hold on. There's questions over on the right side of that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's see here. I'll just read this question first, and then I'll read the next questions after.
Alright.
Do you think there should be a round where all teams play at a rural area?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Mm.
I think that'd be mad. You have like teams go to like Bathurst, the Central Coast, Wagga, like things like that. I'd love that, a round like that. Call it like Bush Round or something.
Oh, Bush.
And you have all the clubs go out to like regional areas for the week, and they spend time in schools and do development stuff and try and like boost numbers for the bush footy and that. I think that's where the roots of the game is. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, nice. Good idea, yeah. So, yeah, we both think that, yeah. Do you think Magic Round... This is still Andrew Backhouse, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think Magic Round venue should be changed every year?
I don't know about that.
Suncorp's good. I like Suncorp.
Yeah, I like Suncorp too. Only if you're going to go to like good stadiums. Like if you have it at Suncorp and then maybe Bankwest.
Bankwest, yeah.
And then even you take it to Perth, have it at Optus Stadium there. I only like the bigger kind of good stadiums.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see it at ANZ a quarter full every week.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah, so...
I don't mind it at Suncorp.
Yeah, I like Suncorp too.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, this is still Andrew Backhouse. Thoughts on Jennings leaving Para, and do you think he'll return?
I don't know. What's the go with his ban? Is he banned?
I think they're still investigating it.
Well, that's going to decide it. Because if he gets his ban, no. Well, I think he can't. Either he admits that he took it and it was by accident. Well, that's 2 years anyway. And if he'll
be 35.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's coming back after that. Maybe Super League.
Yeah. I don't think he'll return to the NRL.
I think the mutually parting ways thing for the Eels is pretty telling about where he's at.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he was playing some of his best footy.
He was
last year.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, C Collins 0801. Your top 3 MVPs of NRL right now.
Let's go Pappenhausen. He probably deserves to be there.
Yeah.
Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go one. Right now.
Well, before Latrell got suspended, it was
that's good
Latrell.
shout. Yeah, well, those three. It's always going to be in those kind of positions too, isn't it? Like your spine. As much as there's other important positions on the park, they're the guys. Like they're going to decide if you win games or lose games. Like how many teams have won a grand final without a great 7? I mean, or without a great 7 or 6. Like not too many teams going around.
None that I can think of at the moment.
Well, you think even off the top of your head, last year Munster was the man, and they had Cameron Smith, probably the most influential player ever.
Then was it the Roosters 2 years before that?
Yeah,
they had Cooper Cronk,
Luke
James
Keary.
Tedesco.
Yeah, James Tedesco. Like you've got to have a great player in those kind of positions if you're going to get it done.
Oh, one team I can think of was probably the Cowboys in 2015. They didn't really have a good spine.
Huh. All right, move on. You idiot.
All right. Coop Harrow. Have the Tigers done enough to get at least 3 of the next 4? I'll win 3 of the next 4 games.
You tell me if they've done enough. I'll have a look at their run.
I don't think they've done enough. They've got flogged 2 weeks in a row.
And so they won last week.
They only just beat the Dragon 16-8.
And then they got smashed. But then they almost beat the Rabbitohs.
Mate, well, they're either rocks or diamonds.
Patchy, they've been patchy as.
You can't really tell if they're going to do good or not, if they're just going to come out every week and be competitive. When they're competitive against the Bunnies, and then they get flogged by someone, and then they come out and beat. I mean, that's
what they like. What do you say? 2 of their next 3?
3 of the next 4.
All right. Well, they don't have that hard a run. They've got the Titans who have been patchy. They've got the Knights who have, frankly, been horrible, who they've already beat this year. Then they've got the Warriors, and they've got the Dragons.
Oh, so that's a pretty easy run.
Yeah, that's a good run. If the best version of the Tigers come out, well, then they could win 3 of those 4.
They could win all 4.
Yeah,
but I mean, what we've seen lately,
that's what they've struggled to do for years now, is be consistent.
Yeah,
and I think that's on Luke Brooks. I think Luke Brooks needs to take responsibility for that. I think forever it's been someone else's fault and not his. And I think if he comes and owns it and says, no, well, this is my team, and puts them on his back, I think that's when we can see the best version of that bloke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're very winnable games for them, but they've been very inconsistent. So, I'll say no, they won't win 3 of the next 4.
Yeah, me as well. They will not be winning.
Yeah.
Alrighty. NRJT 2006. Which team isn't channeling their full potential?
The Raiders.
The Raiders?
Or the Knights.
I was going to say the Broncos. They've only won 2 of their 2 games of their of 8? 2 of 8?
Yeah, I think so. I just think the Raiders are such a quality side that are just nowhere at the moment. And same with the Knights, but the Knights have a lot of injuries. I've always liked the Broncos. The year they run last, I had them coming top 4.
Yeah,
okay?
well, I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I've always liked the Broncos. I say it I feel like every time we sit down, I say I'm in love with their fullback. I think their fullback's great. But the Raiders, man, have been so disappointing.
They have been.
So disappointing.
Well, they've got a few injuries as well.
Yeah.
Hodgson, and they rested George Williams, and Croker's out.
I know the resting thing, that's there's issues there. If they're having to rest players, I think Rapana's been pretty poor for him as well. But they lost to the Cowboys. They really should be beating the Cowboys. They lost to the Warriors at home when they were up by like 20-odd points. Mm-hmm. And then... other than that, they've been beaten by a couple of good sides. But the Knights and the Raiders, I said both of those, they play each other this week. Hugely important game for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, Toddle Wise Martin. something.
Okay, that guy's name is Todd Lewis Martin.
Wow, Toddle.
He messaged me last week after the podcast, and he said I had a good crack up when he's called me Toddle. Now you know his name when you look at it. That's what you can see,
now
Todd Lewis Martin.
it's so obvious now. Toddle.
Yeah.
Todd Lewis.
See, I had that
makes
written
so
down,
much
but
sense.
I thought I'd let you say it first.
Todd Lewis Martin.
Of course it is.
Sorry, mate. Where do you see the Tryline podcast in the next 2 years?
It's hard to say. This week we got over 300 views on our podcast.
Yeah.
Which you look, I think 3 months ago we were getting 20 views on our podcast.
Yeah.
So that's how much of an increase is that percentage? Huge.
Like 100%. I don't know.
But
200%.
we just gotta. We talk about it. We just gotta keep being consistent, and we talk about things we want to talk about. And if people want to listen to that, they want to listen to that. So hopefully we're still here grinding away. Hopefully not here. Hopefully we got like a little setup or something.
Yeah.
Because I hate doing it at my house, but this is where we're at. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. So
I think I hate it a little bit more having to drive.
Yeah.
45 minutes each way.
Yeah, anyone that doesn't know, 2 times a week, Denny drives 45 minutes to come up here, and we got to bang it out before I've got to go to work, and Denny's got to go to work. So we're both working full-time jobs and doing this on the side. But I do enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Anyway, Will Stark 09. How good was Reece Walsh?
Outstanding.
He was awesome.
Outstanding. Him and Sam Walker. Like, talk about potential Queensland halves in 5 years. Like, they're playing so good. I think Sam Walker's been outstanding. Reece Walsh on the weekend, first game at 5'8", and he was commanding the ball a lot too. There was one play, they were right down near the line, and old mate got a slow play the ball, tried to milk a penalty, but he'd already set like the play up to the right. And it was first tackle, and I could see he was so excited to get the ball, and then he ended up dropping it cold. And I was disappointed for him, but it was a good sign to see that like he was ready to go. You know what I mean? Like he'd set that whole play up for the side. So
yeah,
he's a really, really good player. I loved watching him play.
I can't believe the Broncos.
Man,
he was awesome. He looked good every time he touched the ball.
Well, we said it. He was the most dangerous player on the park.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, Will Stark again. How will the Rabbits win more games with all their injuries?
I think they've got good cover.
They do.
I think they'll be alright. You still got Benji there, who can fill in for him. Their backline this week's Alex Johnson, Stephen Masters, Dane Gagai, Braden Burns returns, Tane Mild, Cody Walker, and Benji Marshall. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad backline.
I mean, they are coming up against the Storm and Panthers in back-to-back weeks, so that's a bit tough for them.
I don't think they'll win those games, even if they were full strength. I don't think they'd win those games.
Not right now. Maybe at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
But I think now they're building nicely. I think they just got to get their defence right.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll start again. Oh, okay. If TJ Perenara decides to go to the Roosters and play hooker, what? Oh, that's the
that's the New Zealand bloke.
Yeah, I don't know if I pronounced his name right.
Perenara, I think it is.
It is Perenara?
Yeah.
All right. Decides to go to the Roosters and play hooker. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he'll play off the bench.
You reckon?
I don't think he'll start.
Yeah.
Hooker.
Well, the Roosters, they always have someone on the bench that like a utility off the bench.
I think he'll come off the bench, and I think he'll do all right. But from all reports, he's pretty creative around the middle there. I think he'll go okay. They've got so many injuries. The Roosters. That hooker, Freddie Lussick, I think he's got a detached retina.
He's out. Sam Verrills.
He's got a detached retina.
Yeah. He just came back from a bloody ACL.
Jesus Christ.
Or
they're really struggling with injuries, the Roosters, but they're still winning games.
Yeah,
I think they will bring him in. I think the Roosters are very smart. They're always looking ahead. And with these couple of injuries, the fact that they're even sounding out like a Matt Lodge, an Andrew Feeder, shows how smart they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it for our Q&A show. We're going to be releasing our tips tomorrow. I think this week we've had a look forward. It's a pretty straightforward week on the tips front. I think a lot of weeks have been a lot harder than this week. But check that one out. That'll be released tomorrow morning. And thanks for watching, guys.